Hello, I'm Amanda of Inspiring Inkin. Welcome to my studio, and welcome if you're joining me on YouTube, on Facebook, on my blog. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. Today's video is all about sneak peeks. I'm filming this at the end of December, and I'm going to be sharing with you some products that are going to be launching on the 4th of January 2022. We have a new catalogue launching and Celebration, which is Stampin' Up's biggest promotion of the year, starting at the same time. Now, I can't show you the inside of the catalogues right now. It's against the Stampin' Up rules, but I can show you the outside now. Can you tell what kind of stamps there might be in this catalogue? I think the tulips and the windmill are a really good indication. So there is a tulip bundle. Actually, there's two. And I'm actually not going to be showing you them in the sneak peeks. I'm going to be showing you them a bit later on in January. But they're really cool. So if you love tulips, stay tuned. And then we have a Celebration. So I'll just zoom that in. Hopefully you can kind of see that there. In the Celebration catalogue, you can't buy anything in here. You can only earn it for free. So some of the things you need to spend £45 to earn for free. And one of the things is £90. And that's a bundle of a paper pack and a stamp set. And I'm actually going to be showing you that in a few minutes. So today, I'm focusing on daffodils, and for me they are the quintessential British spring flower. They come in so many varieties and so many different shades, and big and little and all sorts. And we've got some stamps and some dies that are brilliant, and you can earn a Celebration paper that coordinates with them as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to showcase these new products with you. I'm going to make a quick card and a bag as well and show you how to assemble things and all sorts of stuff. So let's get on with the crafting. So first up, I'm going to share with you this Celebration set. It's called Friendly Hello, and it is so beautiful. It's got some really lovely sketched flowers, this cute little bird that you can colour in all sorts of different variations, and some really nice images and smaller images that are great for infills and adding dimension to your projects. I love this sentiment here. You have my love and support. I think that is a really nice sentiment. And you know me, I love a birthday sentiment too. So it's a photopolymer set. Very nice. And then in the bundle, you get a paper pack. Now you get 12 sheets. You get 2 of each of the designs. And they're just such easy to use designs. So you've got speckles and flowers. This paper, your large flower here, I don't know if you'll be able to see, you can actually stamp over the top. Whichever way around it goes. I'm not sure, that way around. You probably can't see, that's clear on clear on clear. But this stamp, these 2 flowers, will stamp over the top on this paper. This is Granny Apple Green, fab colour. Stripes, sketchy flowers and spots. More sketchy flowers. This is my favourite one. There's no surprise there. It's blue, but I love the little birds. And look at that. You see, this is going to be really hard to decide on, this one. And you've got this pattern, and again the blue flowers. As always with Stampin' Up! Papers, you've got the colours on the back. So it's basic black, fresh freesia, granny apple green, petal pink, pool party, and shaded spruce. So obviously you get 2 of each of those. And this is, like I said, this is a double choice for Celebration. So this is a £90 spend to get this. But beautiful, beautiful stamp set and papers. So next up, I promised daffodils, and here they are. So this is the stamp set, Daffodil Daydream, and there is a die set to go with it, which is here. And we're going to look at the dies a little bit later on because I'm going to show you how they all kind of go together. But I just want to talk about the stamp set first off. It's a red rubber stamp set. You've got a couple of really big images of the daffodils and a very cute little butterfly there, and this nice embellishment piece. But it's the sentiments I want to draw your attention to. Easter blessings. It's not very often that we do get Easter sentiments, so that's wonderful, and also a happy Mother's Day as well. But if you have no need for those sentiments, obviously you can add the imagery here with any stamp set that you have. Now, as part of Celebration, for a £45 spend, you can get the coordinating paper pack. And it's called Daffodil Afternoon. This is a new one. I haven't opened it yet. So let me get it open. And the first thing to know is the base of this paper is vanilla. So an awful lot of our papers, the base of them is white, basic white. But this base is very vanilla. So that's really lovely to have something different to use for your inserts and so on. But these papers are beautiful. So you've got this one with the daisies, and the reverse is like a check pattern. This is the most awesome paper. I'm going to be making a bag with this in a few minutes. And then the reverse is stripes. You've got a more jungly kind of scene, really, much deeper greens. And they look like polka dots, but they're not. They're tiny hearts. And I've been using this paper a huge amount as well. More daffodils. And definitely polka dots this time. Daffodils sketchy ones, and then you've got the black and vanilla. And then this one with I want to say chevrons, but they're not. I'm not going to be. You're going to be shouting at the screen, going, "That's that particular shape." I don't know what that shape is. They're kind of soft diamonds, but there's a proper name for it. I don't know what it is. If you know what shape it is, I'm trying to say, put a comment down below, and yeah, that would be really cool. Okay, so the colours here are basic black, crushed curry, daffodil delight, evening evergreen, flirty flamingo, mint macaron, mossy meadow, pale papaya, pear pizzazz, and very vanilla. Okay, so what I am going to do first off is make a really quick card. And when I'm filming this, I had put a message on my Facebook page because I was planning on using my watercolour pencils to colour in this image. And I don't know where my watercolour pencils are. I have had my craft room upside down and inside out. I've looked in every cupboard. I have no idea where my watercolor pencils are. So if you happen to know where they are, or you have a good idea about where they might be, please leave me a comment, because I think I'm going to have to order some more, because honestly, I cannot find them. But then I can't remember when I last used them. They can't be far away. So I'm watercoloring. So I'm using Stays On Black ink, and I'm using Shimmery White card because I'm going to be putting water on it. Oh, the smell of this ink pad is amazing. If you've never smelt Stays On ink, it smells of marzipan or almonds, but it does say very clearly on the back, do not inhale. So don't smell it. That's what it says to say. But oh, delicious, delicious smell. Look how beautiful that image is. You could just leave it like that if you wanted to. But I am going to do a little bit of watercolouring. So I'm squashing my ink pads. I'm getting ink in the lid. The colours that I've got are Daffodil Delight, Crushed Curry, and Old Olive. I'm just going to get a little bit of grid paper here. And I am going to start with the daffodil. And I'm just going to do a little bit of kind of infill with the colour to begin with. And then I'm going to go over. I'm actually using quite a fine brush. But what I don't want to do is I don't want it to look too precise. I want it to look like somebody has actually really truly watercolored this. Does that make sense? Like a real artist. I am a stamper because I cannot draw. I'm just going to go over this to add a bit more colour. So I'm not worrying about there being additional sort of white areas on here. And it goes quiet now because I'm concentrating. Oh dear. This is quite strange for me because most recently I've been doing lives and I have the lovely crafters chatting to me. And obviously today I'm just filming, so I'm here on my own and it just seems a bit strange. So do leave me comments because then I can come back and we can have a conversation in the comments. So there you go. So that is how quick and simple that is. I've made the petals darker and the trumpet lighter, but you know, at the end of the day, every daffodil is unique and you can just make them exactly how you want them. So just filling in these stems. And there we go. All done. So I'm going to make this a Mother's Day card. I'm going to send this to my mother-in-law. That's kind of really getting ahead. Let's have a look. There we go. And I'm just going to close up my ink pads because it is always a disaster or waiting to happen. And I'm going to trim down this. So I knew what colours I was using, but I hadn't quite decided what size. So are we going? Yeah, I'm going to go, oh no, ha! I'm going to go green base, daffodil. So let's trim this down first and then decide what we're doing. Trim that at 3.5. I'm not entirely sure that was straight to begin with. So there we go. So this is actually now 3.25 by 5. I actually want to take that down a little bit more. There we go, that's a bit better. So it's going to go to 3. I'll tell you the size, sorry. It's like I'm just trimming a bit more off, a bit more off. There we go. So it is 3 inches by 4 3/4. So if you're working in centimetres, it's 7.5 by 12. And then I'm going to trim that down. There we go. Oh, all those scraps of paper. So there we go. So we've got a tiny border around the outside and then a bigger border to give it a bit more depth there. So let's just get that. Get that stuck down. There we go. Really simple, quick card. Just with paper or cardstock and ink. So that is the first card. I'm going to show you the bag next. You just move some of these bits and pieces out of the way. And just pop that card up there. And this is the completed bag, and I'm just going to show you how to make it. Now inside there is a cardboard box. So the kind of official title for this is a bag in a box. No, a box in a bag, or a bag in a box. I've been making these for years and years and years and years. And in actual fact, when I was showing this to my team a few days ago, one of the team members said it was the first project I ever showed her 14 years ago. So it just shows you that these bags and boxes and cards that we make, you can adapt them, bring them forward, change them a little bit, and they're still as good today as they were 14 years ago. This is actually a slightly different size to that original bag, so I will show you how to make it. So I've got some Mossy Meadow cardstock, and yeah, I didn't think that was going to show up. Let me write it down. If you've never seen my videos before, you'll know I always make templates just so that I can make whatever it is, in this case the bag, again in, you know, but I don't have to look up all the instructions. So the patterned paper is 6 inches by 12 inches, or 15 centimeters by 30. And then the card is 7.5 inches by 5 inches, scored at 1 3/4 inches, or 19 centimeters by 13 centimeters, scored at 4.5 centimeters. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to read that better because that's black on gorgeous grape. Not easy to see, but if you scroll down you'll see all the measurements there anyway. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or my blog, the measurements will be there. So I'll move that out of the way. We'll just leave that one there. So it's 7.5 inches by 5. If you are working in centimeters, it's 19 by 13. And then you're going to score at 1 3/4 inches on all 4 sides, or 4.5 centimeters on all 4 sides. And it's the easiest way to make a box. Just use your bone folder and reinforce those score lines. Just be careful when you are cutting to make your box. You don't want to cut on the short edge. You want to cut on the long edge. And the reason for this, let me just snip that, is because these tabs are bigger than the sides. So you need the tabs to come into the center with the long edge so that they don't hang out over the edge. Okay, so just when you're cutting it, just make sure you're cutting on the long edge. And then on each of the little squares, cut a tiny triangle off just to help it fold nicely. Okay, so then we're going to pop some glue, trusty Tombow glue, on these tabs. Just hold it there. Grab hold of a peg if you've got one. That will just help hold it just for a second. Make sure it's nice and square on the corners. We use pegs a lot. It really helps speed things up because we don't have multiple pairs of hands. So there's that one. And that one. There we go. Just putting that in. So there we go. So there is our lovely little box. And this basically, it just gives a bit of stability here, but also means you can put heavier things in because it's not paper at the bottom. So I've already prepared my patterned paper. So this is a 12-inch by 6-inch piece. If you're working in centimeters, it's 15 by 30. And I have used double-sided tape. And I've put 2 rows at the bottom. And I'm actually going to put a second row here as well. Now, I usually use Tombow, but for this, just because I want it to sit smoothly, and I don't want the Tombow glue, because it's wet, it gives you a little bit of wriggle room, but it's too much wriggle room for what we're doing. So, yeah, so we're going to use double-sided tape. So basically, all that's going to happen is we're going to wrap this around. So what we're going to do is we are going to start in the middle at the back. So I'm lifting off the tape and I'm going to start here at the back, and I want the paper to line up with the base of the bag. And then when I get to the corner, I'm just going to fold that in. So I'm not scoring it at all. I'm just folding it on the corner, but this part of it is all curved. So it's only that piece. So then we're going to carry on and just keep making sure that it's lined up with the base. Move that out of the way. Pop that up there. There we go. My finger stuck. So round the next corner. And the next. So at this point, you want to remove the tape from the uprights. Or the tape liner, should I say. Ooh. And then you're just going to pull this down, press it down, and line it up. And then what I do is I just put my hand inside and wiggle it around so that the top and the bottom are lined up. Now, mine are slightly misaligned just there. Can you see that? I'm going to get my trusty scissors and just snip that bit off. You'd never know. Okay. So you can now, you could put a couple of holes in there and tie ribbon on it. You could put some handles on. What I've done is I've used my trusty 1.5-inch circle punch. Sadly, Stampin' Up don't sell these anymore. But you can use circle dies to punch holes. But I know lots of you still have your circle punches. So I'm just going to slide it in and punch on the front. And then in order to get it in the right place on the back, I'm just going to squish this down. Feed it through gently. Gently, gently, gently. Line up the hole. And punch. There we go. And there you have your perfect little bag in a box tote bag. Okay, so that is 2 projects. So I promised one more. And this card has moved. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, there we go. This is the card. Now, I'm not actually going to make the card. I'm going to teach you how to make these amazing daffodils. So I'm just going to walk you through this. So I have used quite a few different products on here. So the background, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick that up actually. This is textured, and this is what it is. So there's a new set of embossing folders, stripes and splats. And that's the striped one, and that's the splat one. That is just super cool. But that's what I've used at the back. And I have used a Grand Kid, the Happy Birthday, for that sentiment. So in order to make the daffodils, you need the dies. Now, let me move those out of the way. Let's just talk about the dies. So this is a set of 24 dies, and I don't want you to panic because there's so many of them. So it will all make sense, but I need to explain them kind of die by die. So you have 2 dies which cut out the stamped images. You have a die that will cut out the butterfly, and then another little die to make butterfly innards. So that's 4 of them. You then have the stems. Now, Stampin' Up have been brilliant because they've given us, can't turn it over, stems going both ways. So that is, if I bring it up closer, you'll be able to see. So that is like with the little bulbous part, which is so typical of a daffodil. And then you've got these 2 leaves, and again, they go different ways. Yeah, like that. So that's those. And then you've got these. So the first thing I'm going to show you is there are duplicates. Oh, no, hang on a minute. Before I do that, I need to just take 2 more dies out. So this is a teeny tiny flower, and this is a little stamen for the inside of the daffodils if you want to put that in. I haven't used these 2 dies yet, but they are on my list to use next. So put those in. Okay, so you've got duplicates. So you've got 2 trumpets and 2 trumpet inners. You've got 2 sets of petals with 2 sets of embellishment pieces to go on the petals. And then these are singles. So that is to make a bud. And this is to make a slightly different flower. So I'm going to show you the 2 flowers. So this one here is like an open daffodil. And for that, you are going to use a trumpet, the embellishment part of the trumpet, 2 of these and 2 of these. To make the bud, you're going to use the base and then the embellishment piece. And then for this flower, you're going to use the trumpet and its embellishment piece there, this one with its embellishment piece, and this one with its embellishment piece. Now, I understand that they are all silver, and it's not easy to see. So what I did was I cut all of the pieces out. And the thing is, you could run all of those pieces through your die cutting machine in one pass. So, and that's exactly what I did. So I did 1 set of pieces in Daffodil Delight and 1 set of pieces in Crushed Curry. So let's gather them up. So basically what I'm doing is I'm starting with the light one and then the darker colour. And on this second one, I'm going to do it in reverse because I can. So that's that piece, that piece, that piece, ooh, and that piece, and then the bud. We'll go with that one and that one. Okay. Are you still with me? Does this kind of make sense still? Hopefully it does. Now, if you want to stick them beautifully flat, look at the state of the ink all over my fingers. If you want to stick them perfectly flat, then using the adhesive sheets would be a really, really good plan. I like movement in my cards, so mine aren't stuck down hugely, and I have curved them and curled them a little bit, but it depends, you know, how you want your finished project to look. So I'm just going to show you how I made mine. We'll start with the easiest, which is the bud, and all I'm just going to do is I'm just going to curve it with my fingers a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue, and you can use the fine tip glue if you want to use that, but I love my Tombow. And then just give it a press down. And then you can see you've got this kind of bulbous piece here, and that actually goes onto the stem. So I'll just show you how that sits. So that sits like that. Like so. How quick and simple is that? So that's how to make the bud. So we'll put those pieces away. Then let's move that to one side. We'll make this one. So this is this daffodil here. So just obviously pop out your extra die cut pieces. And again, I'm just giving it a little bit of a bend, bit of a curl. And I'm just putting glue on the big areas. And like I said, I'm not putting it on all of the pieces. So you've got that piece there. So that's those 2 pieces. And then these pieces, you're going to layer these on top. And like I said, these are identical. But you need both sets because, ooh, that's in the wrong way round. You need both sets because if you just put the daffodil on there, it's not full enough. Okay. And there is a right way round and a wrong way round with these detailed pieces, embellishment pieces. So just make sure that they're sort of square on. Let me show you. So if you put it in the wrong place, can you see there's like an edge here and here? But if you move it round one, move it round one, that doesn't work either. If you move it round another one, that is perfect. You will get the hang of it quite quickly, actually. You can just look at it and it works really well. Okay, so then you're going to layer those two one on top of the other. And offset the petals. Like so. And then you're going to put your daffodil trumpet on there. Now I haven't used any dimensionals on these because what I did was I used dimensionals actually on the card. So I'm just giving all of these a bit of a bend and a squash. And there you go. So that one is that flower there. And then this one. Now this one was the one that kind of confused me a little bit to begin with. And I'll show you why. So the trumpet is exactly the same because, you know, it's a duplicate of what we've just had. And then you've got this detailed piece that goes on the top of there. And when I first made it, I looked at it and I thought, well, so you've got it like that. And when you put the trumpet on, it looked okay, but it didn't look full enough. And then I saw this propeller piece and figured out that that is obviously the bit that I was missing. So you've got the propeller piece and the detailed bit. And again, there is a right way and a wrong way to stick them together. So just make sure that they're lined up. And you put it on the top. And then you put your daffodil trumpet on the top. And then look of the magic that happens then. Because all of a sudden it comes alive. It's amazing. Amazing. So let me just move that up a little bit. There we go. So there we go. Bring up little bud as well. And obviously you can stick these on stems however you want to, but that's how they go together. So let me just bring in the cards and the projects. Move everything out of the way. So we've got the die cut and the little bag and the card as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the projects and the sneak peeks of the products that are launching on the 4th of January 2022. If you would like a copy of the catalogues and you're not currently on my mailing list, please send me an email, amanda@inspiringinkin.com, and I'll give me your full name, address details and phone number. I can send catalogues out to people in the UK, France, Germany, Austria and the Netherlands. If you're in the USA, Canada, Australia or New Zealand, I do have demonstrator friends in those countries as well, so I can pass on your details to a local demonstrator to you. All of the products will be available in my online store from the 4th of January. To get to my online store, you need to go to www.inspiringinkin.com. And whilst you're there, please do subscribe to my email list. That way you will always be the first to know when I have some new creative inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.